In 1997, Diego Maradona made his final appearance in the Championship Manager series. But what happens if you move that version of him to MLS in Football Manager 10 years later? Let's find out. Diego has arrived in Texas. He'll be lining up for FC Dallas, a team still to this day yet to get its hands on an MLS Cup title. The 2007 season was relatively successful though. The club would finish third place before an eventual elimination in the Western Conference semi-finals. Now though, they have a rather special Argentine. Despite being 37 years of age, he's still an elite level footballer. Whilst his physicals have diminished a little, technically he's still elite. In reality, he'd only mustered 2 goals for Boca in 1997. We're going to need him to be a little bit more prolific than that. And during this era of MLS, you'd imagine he's going to do well. The league here is still in its infancy, with just 12 sides, compared to 29 currently. There's definitely talent competing too. Landon Donovan would be the second highest scorer in the league's history, and get his hands on the MLS Cup no fewer than 5 times. Elsewhere, Football Manager legend Freddie Adu. Back in 2006 he's just 16 years of age, and showing that early promise that led vast swathes of European teams to attempt to sign him. Dallas's roster is an interesting one too. The most familiar name is probably ex-Premier League goalkeeper Shaka Hislop. There's also a ton of MLS experience in this squad, and the addition of Maradona could be just what it needs. Tactically, we're going to start out with a 4-4-1-1. The Argentine has been given a free role, but encouraged to dribble as much as possible and shoot from range. Let's see how he performs over the year. It took 5 games for Maradona to get on the score sheet. He shows great composure to get on the end of the cross and convert. Probably the best result of the year so far, as Chicago has swept away. 21 games in, and things aren't going all that well. Whilst FC Dallas are occupying a playoff spot, Maradona's form hasn't been great. Whilst defensively solid, the team is struggling to score goals and win games. With that in mind, we're going to alter the formation to a 4-4-2. With Maradona as second forward, he should get more opportunities in front of goal to do damage. And that change of position paid immediate dividends. Here he finds an inch-perfect pass to Carlos Ruiz, who finishes in style. 10 men down against Chivas, his side were in a hole. As the ball advances, he finds space and hits the back of the net. The game would finish 2-2 against a side featuring Brad Guzan and Jesse Marsch. The Columbus Crew came next. Maradona would score not 1, 2, but 3 free kicks in a single match. As the regular season concluded, Dallas would remain in 4th and secure a playoff position. Defensively, they're actually the best team in the division. That stability could prove vital with tricky knockout games. Interestingly, they're also the most informed team in the league too. In the opening round of the playoffs, they'd secure a penalty victory away to Houston Dynamo and move on. Beating the LA Galaxy 2-0 meant for the first time in their history, they found themselves in the MLS Cup final. Maradona chose a great time to get his first playoff goal. As the ball's chipped over the keeper, he won't miss from there. Just before half-time, he'd restore his side's lead. And that proved to be enough. A late goal by Carlos Ruiz cemented his team's victory. Dallas were league champions. Over the course of the year, Maradona would play 31 league matches, registering 14 goals and assists. After a slow start, he really turned it on at the end of the season, where in 13 games, he registered 11 goal contributions. He finished the season with an 11% shot conversion rate, a little disappointing, but he was involved in the build-up play, attempting nearly 800 passes. His 10 league goals were enough to place the Argentine in 12th overall position in the Golden Boot race. Maradona ensured a legacy like no other in Naples. Many thousands of miles away in Texas, he replicated that improbable triumph and brought home the biggest trophy in US soccer.